You helped break this story with Ed, and I just want to get to grips of how creative this financing actually is. How often do we see SPVs being set up to buy GPUs and use them as underlying assets?
Hi, thank you for having me. We've seen SPVs in the past before used for other type of assets. It's quite common in Wall Street to basically use assets as collateral instead of putting corporate debt. But it's becoming much more interesting and much more common to see tech giants basically do this type of deals because they don't want to put a lot of debt on the corporate balance sheet. So I think we're going to see more of these in the future.
Carmen, it's been a busy couple of days chasing this one, right? So the structure is $20 billion. Most of it is debt, and there is some equity in there. And this morning, Nvidia's CEO, Jensen Huang, went on another network and in an interview essentially confirmed Nvidia's participation. Just give us the rest of the details that we put in that story.
Sure. So it will be at least $20 billion of capital, basically to buy the chips that xAI will use for this data center in Memphis. And there's going to be like a variety of Wall Street investors in the debt. We know Apollo is in it, Diameter, we reported as well. The equity will have a number of investors as well, including Valor, who's leading the financing. But yeah, Nvidia is invested in the equity, which is really interesting, given that they're basically using that money to buy their own chips.
Where do we go from here? I mean, it's really difficult because I feel there's a lot more reporting to be done. The piece of the mechanism that I'm trying to get my head around is that there's an SPV, and xAI rents and leases the chips, we think, over a 5-year period. What do the investors get in return? Like, are they going to get a stake in xAI? Are they just being paid rent, basically, and then that covers their debt obligations? What do we know?
Well, from what we know, they get the lease payments, which is how they can amortize the debt over time. So basically, you get like monthly, quarterly payments for the financing. So you kind of like pay down the debt that way. But the idea, from what we understand, is basically at the end of it, you still have like the chips that have some value, right, after the 5 years. So that stays within that SPV.